Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasodana Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Yamuna Chiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Yamuna Chiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Yamuna Chiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Yamuna Chiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Chiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitago Haribo, 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 Nitago Haribo. Jayam Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Stotra Sudasi Srimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Stotra Sudasi Srimad. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Granted Ashma Bhagavatam Ki. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Nitai Gopi Manande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's a very great fortune to have the association of His Grace, Ishvara Prabhu. His Grace Ishwara Prabhu was born in Nigeria, West Africa. And in the late 1970s, Prabhuji became one of the first devotees to join ISKCON in Africa. He wholeheartedly embraced the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of our society, and began his spiritual journey as a preacher. With unwavering dedication, he traveled to numerous African countries, spreading the message of Lord Krishna and inspiring many to embrace the spiritual path. You know, African preaching has always been a very great challenge. The cultural differences, so much of exploitation over there. So he's been a pioneer in the preaching there in the 70s. Later on, after spending considerable time in Africa, Prabhuji shifted to United States, where he resided for a long period. And there he deepened his understanding of the scripture and pursued intensive studies in Sanskrit and Bengali. So he knows multiple languages, native languages, English, as well as Sanskrit and Bengali. And in 1994, he met His Holiness Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj in the United States. And after that meeting, Prabhuji made the life-changing decision to relocate to India in 1995. And viewing this move as a divine blessing, he immersed himself in the spiritual atmosphere of India, where he has since resided. From 1995 onward, almost last 30 years, he is there in India. And as a Vaishnava Acharya's book publisher, Prabhuji has been involved in the publication of significant works within the Vaishnava tradition. He is overseeing the publication of Torchlight publication, you might have heard the name. Additionally, for over 2 decades, he has been very actively writing himself, sharing his spiritual realization and insights with others. His writings aim to illuminate the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and other revered Vaishnava Acharyas. And currently, Prabhuji has taken a monumental project involving the authorship of 3 books. The first book is focusing on Sri Vishnu Sahasranam, exploring and sharing stories associated with each divine name. Second book is dwelling into Sri Ramcharitmanas, providing profound insights into Lord Ram's divine pastime. And the third book delves into the renowned Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita with commentaries from the esteemed Vaishnava Acharyas, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu met Prabhuji in Vrindavan and invited him to Pune, and Prabhuji agreed to come just before his trip to Kharghar for the temple opening. So very fortunate to have him here. We would like to warmly welcome him to Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Mandir by once loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna. Narayana Namaskritya Narayachava Narotaman Devam Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasapayeshva Bhadvesu Nitam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamas Loke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki Vede Ramane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Hado Adiyachamadecha Hari Savita Giyate Mukam Karati Vachalam Prangula Garite Gri Yakipataham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhavan Dhamma Prajita Katabota Paramo Nimasram Satan Vedan Vastavam Atravastam Shudan Tapatayo Molanan Shima Bhagavate Mahamani Kitenki Vai Pera Ishvara Sadhyoridi Abrajitra Kitipita Krishna Nigama Kapatalu Galita Phalam Soka Mukan Dravasambutam Pibatam Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Mahurau Rasika Bhavibapukan Yashavashyamana Yan Krishna Paramapurushe Bhakti Utapade Pansa Soka Moha Bhaya Paha Atoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatata Vininaya Gayati Basa Ruposo Vidata Paribremita Savaviditiya Sanam Saram Saram Paribremita Savavidantan Saram Mishi Bhagavatam Mishyati Tarasamita Syati Ptasya Nayatya Sharati Kochi Krishna Vasudevaya Devaki Nandana Yasha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Gobindaya Namo Nama Vasudeva Satan Devan Kansa Chandra Madana Devaki Paramananda Krishna Bande Jaga Guru Namamu Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesa Sunyabadi Pashtacha Dishatarine Gurave Guru Chandaya Radhika Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktayata Bhaktayo Namo Namah Vanchakapaturubhyascha Kripasindhive Vacha Patitanam Pavanabhebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So I'm very happy to be here at ISKCON Pune this morning. I was here during the opening, this was 2013. So it was nice, very beautiful opening ceremony of the temple. Then, even though I've been coming to Maharashtra several times, but somehow I never make it to Pune here. Of course, Radhishan Prabhu was always asking me to come and visit. But so Krishna gave me the opportunity to come now, and it's such a very beautiful temple. Nice, Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, beautiful deity. I used to be part of New Vrindavan, USA, back in the 80s, and also the presiding deity lordship is Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Prabhupada gave this name, Vrindavan Chandra. So, it's always a great opportunity, great blessing to be able to speak on the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is Srila Vyasadeva last literary contribution. Srila Vyasadeva, he wrote many scriptures. He compiled many sastras, the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, so many, Mahabharata. But after his compilation, he was not happy. He wasn't happy after his writing. Even though Srila Vyasadeva, he was not writing for his own gratification. He was writing for the benefit of the humanity, so that people can get out of this material world. The ocean of birth and death. But he compiled all these literatures, but he was not happy after his compilation. He wasn't happy. So he was trying to figure out why he was not happy. He was trying to figure it out. So his guru came, Srila Nadamani. First, his guru praised him that, oh, my dear Vyasadeva, a great sage, you've done so much good for the humanity, but I can see that you are distressed. How is that? And then, of course, Vyasadeva said that, well, you are the expert doctor. You can diagnose the reason of my discontent. You can diagnose it. So, and then Naramani said, yes, what you've done is good. You've compiled all these literatures, the Vedas, the Puranas, but you have not directly glorified the Supreme Lord. Because what you've done, first of all, you've encouraged people to pursue their materialistic progress in this material world, and so that they can pursue liberation. For example, the Vedas is only dealing with Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. That's what the Vedas is dealing with. Religiosity, sense enjoyment, economic development, and then ultimately liberation. That's what the Vedas is dealing with. How to be in this material world, live nicely, lead a religious life, then At the end, when you are tired of it, then go for liberation. You see. So this, for the Paramahansas, this is not something that is commendable. So Srila Narada Muni, he said, because you have not directly glorified the Supreme Lord. You have not directly profaned the path of bhakti onto the Supreme Lord. So therefore, you are not happy. Then, of course, in the chapter 5 of the first canto Bhagavatam, so we find the instruction of Narada Muni there, whereby he encouraged, he impressed upon Vyasadeva that yes, the real literature is that literature which creates revolution. Taba Vishago Janataga Viplavo, Yasmin Pati about this look you happy, or the Brahmachari, I'm sure you know the sloka. The real literature is the one that creates a revolution in the heart of the impious heart of the people. And what is that? That is Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is that literature which has nothing to do about how nicely we live in this material world. Dharma projita kadabota mone masapa. Dharma projita kick out any kinds of irreligious or so-called religion. He kicked them out. Even that is Dharma atakama moksha. Even the so-called idea of moksha is described to be another form of sense gratification. So therefore, Bhagavatam rejects the whole idea of moksha. And Bhagavatam is said to be the Paramahansa Samhita, is the literature for the Paramahansas, the greatest devotees. This is the only literature that they relish, Bhagavatam, this Bhagavatam, because from the beginning to the end, it's all about the glorification, the kata of the Lord Sri Krishna, and by relishment of Bhagavatam, we can develop our loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. So, of course, there is so much to say about the Bhagavatam glorification itself. But we have Prahlada Maharaja here, whereby is responding to the query of his father, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu thought that, well, I've sent my son to the Gurukul, he must have learned every nice thing, how to live nicely in this material world, how to be a nice diplomat. So he was very interested to hear what his son have learned in the Gurukul. But Prahlada Maharaj, he has a different idea. He has a different idea on what he has learned in the Gurukul. Why? Because Prahlad, he had a different Gurukul. The Gurukul of Narada Muni. That's the Gurukul that he went to. And it's that Gurukul that can actually change life, not the mundane Gurukul. The Gurukul of Narada Muni is that Gurukul which actually change life, that actually take you across the ocean of materialistic existence. And that instruction coming from Narada Muni, it has no impediment, because Prahlad, he learned from Narada Muni while he was in the womb of his mother. He was in the womb of his mother when he heard the teaching from Narada Muni. So actually, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will normally relish hearing about the pastimes of Prahlada Maharaj and also Dhruva Maharaj. Those are the two episodes, because Gadara Pandit, one of the intimate associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will read Bhagavatam every day. Gadara Pandit. He will read Bhagavatam, and when he read Bhagavatam, so much tears will be coming from his eyes. Because Bhagavatam is Krishna. Bhagavatam is not even from... When you have Bhagavatam, you have Krishna. Krishna Swadamupagate Dhammagana Divisaha. Kalo Nasa Krishna Desa Prana Kudinodita. Krishna came in the form of Bhagavatam in this age of Kali. It's Krishna's incarnation. So when Gadara Pandit, when he read Bhagavatam, so much tears will be coming from his eyes. So much that the ink on the pages of Bhagavatam will be completely, smudged over. This is the same mood we should have when we are reading Bhagavatam. When we hold Bhagavatam, we should think that we are holding Krishna. It's a great privilege for us to be with Bhagavatam because Krishna himself. Krishna is very, very merciful. Krishna is Bhakta Bhasala. He has come in the age of Kali in the form of Bhagavatam. So, Prahlad now replying to his father, because his father had become so frustrated that, he was not able to assimilate what is being taught by his so-called guru, Sanda and Amaka. So Hiranyakasipu was so much frustrated. So he wants to ask Prahlad, what are you saying? Who have taught you all these things? Who have taught you all this garbage? Garbage of devotional service to Vishnu. He considered to be garbage. Because every materialistic person also wants the success of his children. Every successful materialistic person wants the children to be as good as them. You send your child to school, then to the best university, so that it can be the best that you are. But if the children take to some other way, to some other path, so it become a sort of disturbance. Actually, we had one situation long time ago in Bombay. So one of our members, actually who happened to be one of our, well-wisher, sponsor, big corporate, actually billionaire. So, but his son was very, very much interested to become a devotee. He was interested to become a devotee. Of course, here in India, we have so many, well-to-do families. But they do not want their children to come and become a brahmachari in the temple. No. They wanted to pursue the path of spiritualism. So the idea that, my children is going to become a devotee, live in the HareKrishna temple, become a brahmachari, this is not something that they want. No. So this member, his son decided to become devotee. But somehow the son left home. So when the son left home, so this gentleman, he became very, very angry, and he came to the temple with the police. He came to the temple with the police and had the whole temple searched. The police, they search everywhere, the altar, trying to figure out where the son is, So unfortunately, the son happened, then he committed suicide, because the father was giving so much impediment. So Hiranyakasipu, he was materialistically successful man. Hiranya means gold, and Kasipu means soft bed. He had everything. So he wanted his son to be the same thing. So therefore, he was very, very much, he wanted his son to tell him what he has learned about materialistic success. So Prahlad is replying here. So I guess we can chant together. Sri Prahladuvacha Matine Krishna Parata Swatoba Mito Bipadyeta Griya Bratana Adanta Gopi Visatanta Mishram Puna Puna Chavita Chavananam Sri Prahladuvacha Matine Krishna Parata Satoba Mito Pipadyeta Griya Bhatanam Adanta Gopi Visatanta Mishram Puna Puna Chavita Chavananam Sri Prahlauvacha Matine Krishna Parata Satoba Mito Pipadyeta Griya Bhatanam Adanta Gopi Visatanta Mishram Puna Puna Chavita Chavananam. You can please chant. Adanta Gopi Visatanta Mishram Puna Puna Hare Krishna Hare Somebody else? Ladies? Sri Prahlada Uvacha. Prahlada Maharaj said, Mati, inclination, na, never, Krishna, unto Lord Krishna, parataha, from the instructions of others, swataha, from their own understanding, bar, either, mitaha, from combined effort, abhipadyeta, is developed, griyapatanam, of persons too addicted to the materialistic bodily conception of life. Very long. Adanta, uncontrolled, gobi, by these senses, Vishtatam, entering, Tamishram, hellish life, Puna, again, Pune, again. Chavita, things already chilled. Chavananam, who are chewing. Prahlada Maharaja replied, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Prahlada Maharaja replied, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress toward hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclination toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instruction of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. Purport. In this verse, the words HareKrishna refer to devotional service rendered to Krishna. So-called politicians, erudite scholars, and philosophers who read Bhagavad Gita try to twist some meaning from it to suit their own material purposes, but their misunderstanding of Krishna will not yield them any profit. Because such politicians, philosophers, and scholars are interested in using Bhagavad Gita as a vehicle for adjusting things materially. For them, constant thought of Krishna or Krishna consciousness is impossible. Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 1855, Bhaktiman Abhijanati, only through devotional service can one understand Krishna as he is. The so-called politicians and scholars think of Krishna as fictitious. The politician says that his Krishna is different from the Krishna depicted in Bhagavad Gita. Even though he accepts Krishna and Rama as the supreme, he thinks of Rama and Krishna as impersonal because he has no idea of service to Krishna. Thus, his only business is Puna Chavita Chavananam, chewing the chewed again and again. The aim of such politicians and academic scholars is to enjoy this material world with their bodily senses. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that those who are Griyabrata, whose only aim is to live comfortably with the body in the material world, cannot understand Krishna. The two expressions, Griyabrata and Chavita Chavananam, indicate that a materialistic person tries to enjoy sense gratification in different bodily forms, life after life, but is still unsatisfied. In the name of personalism, this ism or that ism, such persons always remain attached to the materialistic way of life. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2:44, Bhoga Ishvara Pushaktanam Taya Parita Chetasam Vyavasha Yatmika Bodhi Samado Na Vidyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Those who are attached to material enjoyment cannot be fixed in devotional service to the Lord. They cannot understand Bhagavan Krishna or his instruction. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Adanta Gopi Vishatim Tamishram, their path actually leads toward hellish life. As confirmed by Rishabhadev, Mahasevan Dwaran Aho Vimuktis, one must try to understand Krishna by serving a devotee. The word Mahat refers to a devotee. Mahatmanas Tumam Parta Davim Prakitam Ashritaha Bhajanti Ananja Manaso Gyatva Bhutadim Abhyam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Bhagavatam 9:13. A Mahatman is one who is constantly engaged in devotional service 24 hours a day. As explained in the following verses, unless one adheres to such a great personality, one cannot understand Krishna. Hiranyakashipu wanted to know where Prahlad had gotten this Krishna consciousness. Who had taught him? Prahlad sarcastically replied, "My dear father, persons like you never understand Krishna. One can understand Krishna only by serving a Mahat, a great soul. Those who try to adjust material conditions are said to be chewing the chewed. No one has been able to adjust material condition, but life after life, generation after generation, people try and repeatedly fail. Unless one is properly trained by a Mahat, a Mahatma, or unalloyed devotee of the Lord, there is no possibility of one's understanding Krishna and his devotional service." This is very, very important purport, full of illumination that Prabhupada has given, shedding light on this statement of Prahlada Maharaja. Materialistic life means, chewing the chew, puna puna chavita chavana nam, again and again, chewing the same thing which already did. It's just like the famous fruit, the sugar cane. The sugar cane stalk, you break it, you chew it nicely, you suck out all the juice from the sugar cane, and then you throw it away. And then somebody can pick up the same sugar cane and also start chewing the same thing. What's the good person going to get? Time to chew what is already being chewed. What are you going to get? Nothing. But the materialistic life is like that. Everybody is talking about successful. I want to be successful. That is Griya Brata, which means trying to have a great success in materialistic life. But we know it's our experience. There's never been such a thing in this material world of being successful. Actually, being successful actually means being very, very happy, being very, very content. But material success is such that no matter no matter what result you get, still you are never satisfied. You are never satisfied no matter what success you attain in the material world. We see so many successful materialist people, so many rich people, the millionaires and billionaires. We have them around us. We find that billionaires, millionaires, they They have everything, still, there's never any satisfaction. That, oh, I've had enough. I've had enough, now let me just sit and do something else. Let me go and do Hari Bhajan. No, that's never there. They have and they want to have more. They have something, they want to have more. And another thing is that they're also very, very envious of those who are trying to get the same thing that they have. You know. For example, a rich person, a successful materialist, if we make so many efforts to try to influence the government so that the government can make laws that will make it difficult for others to be successful. You know, the government will pass laws because some businessman, he gave so much, he lobby, he gave a lot of money to the politician, so that politician can make laws to make it difficult for others. Material life is like that. The whole world is like that. So those who are very successful, they want to be more successful, they want to get more, and if they see others try to attain the same thing that they attain, they are very, very jealous of that. They want to put lot of impediment. So, and that's why it's under Tamishra, which means they go to hell. They simply paving the way to hell, to hellish life. Because that's what material life, that's what inevitably takes you. Take you to a hellish environment. Like Srila Prabhupada quoted this verse from the talk of Lord Rishabhadev. When Lord Rishabhadev, when he was instructing his sons, Lord Rishabhadev, he had 100 sons. So he had 100 sons. And then when he decided to go to the forest himself, so he instructed those sons. Among his 100 sons, there are 90 of them who became like great kings, 90 of them. And then there are 9 of them who became great rishi. We call them Nava Yugendra. You find their teachings in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, the Nava Yugendras. And then there's Jat Bharat. Jat Bharat, great devotee. We find his story later on in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. So Rishabhadev is instructing his sons. He said, Mahat Sevan Dwara Mahu Vimuktes Tamo Dwara Yoshitam Sangishangam Mahatan Se Samachita Pashanta Viman Yava Surida Sadavoye Mahat Sevan Dwara Mahu Vimuktes Tamo Dwara Yoshitam Sangishangam. So, 2 things. He said, one can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equiposed. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. So this is the Rishabhadev talking to his children in Bhagavatam 5th canto, chapter 5, text 2. Just like Mahaprabhu, in his instruction to Santa Goswami, he said the Asat Sangha Tyaga, He Vaishnav Achar, Street Sangha Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhaktara. That one should, like a serious devotee, should renounce the undesirable association, Asat Sangha. Which means if one is serious about devotional service, then one must give up the association of non-devotees, the association of materialists. One should not associate with them. Because you associate with a materialist, they will encourage you also in the path of sense gratification. As we must say that the path of sense gratification leads you to hell, leads you to birth after birth in one species or the other. That's what it leads you. But a devotee, a serious devotee, do not consider the association of non-devotees worthwhile. For example, one Vaishnavi pray that I would rather be in a cage. I would rather be locked up in a cage with a lion in a cage. I would rather be locked up in a cage of lion than be in the association of non-devotees. So just imagine, you want to be locked up in a cage of lion. The food of lion is you, If lion sees you, he'll be very, very happy. Just imagine lion, you are in a cage of a lion. So lion can, especially if the lion is a devotee, so lion can see you as prasad. He will offer you to the Lord, and he make you the prasad. So the devotee is praying that I would rather be locked up in a cage with a lion than being in the association of non-devotees. Those who are simply interested in sex life, sense gratification, in gratification of the senses. So a devotee, he has no desire whatsoever to have this undesirable association. So devotee, what is their desire? Their desire is to be with other devotees. Because when they are with other devotees, what they do? They relish Krishna Katha. What's that? Sata Prashangam Mamavya Samvido Bhavanti Rikana Shana Katha. Tajosana Shana Katha Bhavanti Rikana. What is that? Sada Bhakti Anukramisyati. That when my devotees, when they get together, Sata means the devotees. When they get together, what did they do? They talk about Krishna. When devotees are together, they will not talk about, oh my dear Prabhu, how are you? How's your body? They don't talk about that. If I ask you, how are you? The fact is, I'm in the material world. How can everything be good? But if you reply, if you said, oh, I am fine, so how are you fine in the material world? No matter your situation, you've been tossed around here and there by Maya Devi through the Tapatraya, Miche Maya Bose Yacho Besi Kacha Abadubai. The living entities have been tossed here and there by the materialistic energy, isn't it? But we are deluding ourselves, thinking that we are fine. But how are you fine? You're simply deluding yourself. Material energy is not kind upon us, but under illusion, we think that material energy, Maya Devi, is our friend. But under illusion. So devotee, when they get together, they talk about Krishna. They talk about the extraordinary activities of the Lord. The Lord have so many nice pastimes. The Lord perform so many pastimes so that we can relish them. And when we relish them, it paved the way of liberation. Bhavanti Rikana Rasana Kata. Hearing about the Lord is very, very sweet, very sweeting. It's very, very joyful to hear about Krishna Kata in the association of devotees. Because it's only association of devotees can we relish Krishna Kata. You cannot relish Krishna Kata through non-devotee association. You cannot go to university and try to learn about Krishna Kata. No, you will not. You go to university trying to learn about the scriptures, you become polluted. Just like we have, it's our experience, we have many of our men, many of our devotees, they say, oh, you want to become this scholar, that scholar. So they go to university to learn about the Vedas, about the Puranas, and Bhagavad Gita. They go to universities, but the university professor is a person who smokes cigars, probably eat meat. This is the university professor. He's not a devotee. So how can you go to university and learn from a non-devotee about how to become Krishna devotee? So that's not possible. So Prahlada said, that's what Matine Krishna. No, you cannot. It's not possible. You cannot. You cannot be situated in Krishna consciousness by trying to learn about Krishna from non-devotees. So devotee, they hear about Krishna among each other because they are engaged in devotional service. So they constantly hearing and also repeating among each other. So therefore, it becomes very, very blissful when you're hearing Krishna Katha, when you're hearing Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. It becomes very, very blissful. So much to the extent that you don't want to leave such association. You don't want to leave it. So, Tajo Shanam Apavagavatmanam, which is by hearing by the Lord in the association of devotees, he paved the way of liberation. Apavaga. He paved the way of liberation. Now, of course, when we talk of liberation, we're not talking of just to become liberated and become merged into the impersonal Brahman. Liberation means to be situated in devotional service. That's bhakti. Bhakti, that's liberation for devotee. So he paves the way for liberation, and then bhakti anukamishchati, then the devotional service to the Lord, the loving service to the Lord develops. So which means that's the result of hearing Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. You become a devotee. And the more you hear, the more you attend Bhagavatam class, the more the inspiration to want to render service to Krishna become much more deeper. You become very, very enthusiastic. Chanting Krishna's name become much more meaningful, because when you are told to chant, so you want to answer, you start questioning yourself, why all this chanting? I have to keep chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Why all this chanting? But when you hear about Krishna pastime, activities in association of devotees, then the meaning comes out. You say, oh, chanting Krishna's name, oh, Krishna is so beautiful, so many beautiful pastimes. Krishna is so wonderful. And I have a relationship with him. And the more I chant his name, the more that eternal relationship which I have, the more it will grow, the more it will develop. So therefore, Rupa Goswami is making his prayer, say, oh, my dear Lord, your name is so sweet, so wonderful, that having one mouth is not enough. That I want to have thousands and thousands of mouths to chant your name. And to hear about you, to hear Krishna Katha, because Krishna, everything about Krishna is so sweet. To hear about him is so sweet that, we want to have millions and millions of years just to hear about Krishna. Because everything about Krishna is sweet. Madhuram, Adaram, Madhuram, Vadanam, Madhuram, Vadanam, everything is sweet. Everything about Krishna is simply sweet. So which means the more we hear about Krishna in the association of devotees, the more sweeter everything becomes. The more sweet everything becomes, the more we hear about association of devotees. So Prahlad is talking to his father that for those who are simply absorbed in the materialistic pursuit, so the determination to be Krishna conscious is never there. So Hare Krishna, the Martin, but because such persons, they are only interested in materialistic pursuit, so they are simply paving their way to hell, under Tamistran, darkness. So Rishabhadev has mentioned that yes, we should not associate with those who are simply interested in the materialistic enjoyment, but we should associate with those great personalities who can remind us about Krishna, who can remind us about our eternal relationship with Krishna, who can remind us about loving devotional service of Krishna. We should associate with them only. Then our life will be meaningful. Then we'll be successful in life. Success in life means attainment of pure devotional service to Krishna. So I know that our time is going. So maybe Hare Krishna. Maybe some question? Because the time is gone. I cannot keep going. Yeah.
Does liberation means that the devotee is executing pure devotional service?
Yeah, for a read bhakti, read liberation means to attain the attainment of bhakti. So, which means the impersonal liberation is not something that attracts devotees. So, what's that? Was Mukti Itwanta? Huh? So, yeah. So, which means the real mukti is when you come to your original position as eternal servant of the Lord, and then you render service accordingly. You know your sambandha, which is your relationship with the Lord, and then once you know your sambandha, there's abhidai, which means your engagement in bhakti, in devotional service to the Lord. And through that engagement, love develops, prem comes. So we have sambandha, abhidai, and prayojan. Prayojan means the ultimate goal of life. Ultimate goal of life is Krishna prema pramatamahan, which means the development of love for Krishna. So the bhakti, the mukti or liberation is bhakti, attainment of bhakti, not to attain the impersonal Brahmajyoti. No. The impersonalists, the Mayavadis, they want mukti so that they can merge with Brahman. But in Brahman, there is no permanence there. After some time, again, you have to come down. Yes, in Brahma, you got happiness. Happiness is there. Brahma Sukham, you get it. But the happiness of Brahma Sukha, compared to the happiness of Bhakti, is compared to the hoof print of a calf, the baby calf. So when they walk in the mud, there is water that's accumulated, small water that is accumulated in the hoof print of a calf. It's very small. But the ocean is there. Here we have Arabian Sea in Maharashtra. So the happiness of devotee, of bhakti, is compared to the sea, Arabian Sea. Whereas the happiness of impersonalists is compared to that hoof print of a calf, the water that is gathered in the hoof print of a calf. So it's a big, big difference. No comparison. And that's why Prabhupada wrote again and again that the Mayavadis, they always have to come down. And then because they are not satisfied, even after the so-called liberation, so they come and then start performing so many philanthropic activities. Because they're not satisfied of being so-called liberation. They're not satisfied. But only bhakti, that is liberating, only bhakti. And that is the ultimate goal of the Vedas. All right.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. Any other points? Okay.
Especially this profound purport of Srila Prabhupada, you very beautifully told who is Mahatma and what are its symptoms, what are his emotions, what are his tastes, and what. So, very grateful for that. My question is from the purport, Prabhupada is using very specific words here, like anyone who adheres to Mahatma and anyone who is properly trained by Mahatma, not just trained, properly trained by Mahatma. Anyone who is serving a Mahatma, and Mahatma is not just a devotee, but Prabhupada rightly writing that highly advanced spiritual personalities.
Yeah.
So my question is, Prabhuji, that when we are staying in association of devotees, so there are different levels of devotees. So what does Prabhupada mean here to adhere to Mahatma who are highly advanced, and how we can apply that in our own life?
Yeah, that the highly advanced spiritualist. And of course, there's a general definition of a Mahatma, which Prabhupada gave here. The general definition of Mahatma, which means someone who have no interest in this material world. And they had mentioned in that verse by Rishabhadev that the highly advanced spiritualist can be impersonalist or can be devotees. One of the two. So that's just a general definition, which means because one has to lose interest in this material world. So one has to lose interest in this material world and then seek the association of the advanced spiritualist. So which means whatever your goal is, if your goal is to get liberation and attain the Brahma, Brahma platform, then you find out for those, we call them Brahmavadis, those advanced spiritualists, those who have lost interest in this material world, the association with them. Or for devotees, the real Mahatma actually is the devotees, because that's also given the proper definition. Mahatma Natsumam Pata Davi Prakriti Mastida. That the Mahatma are those who have realized God, who have realized Krishna. Those are the real Mahatma. But in general, you have the general definition of Mahatma, but then you actually go deeper into it. You actually know who's actually Mahatma. Unless one is a devotee of the Lord, one cannot really be called a Mahatma. Because the great impersonalists who have attained liberation, so ultimately, then they come to Bhakti. Just like the four Kumaras. The four Kumaras, they were great impersonalists, liberated personalities, but by smelling the aroma that is coming from the lotus feet of the Lord, so they became bhaktas, they become devotees. So which means those liberated persons, impersonalists who are liberated, ultimately, they also come to Bhakti ultimately. But again, since we have come to this path, the path of Krishna consciousness, and so we are told to seek the association of advanced person, advanced devotees. So which means among us, devotees are not the same. Among us, devotees are not the same. Normally, we have some devotees who are much more serious than the others, because after all, everyone has got a particular adhikar. Because we come to the path of bhakti or the path of Krishna consciousness, it's not something within one particular life. It's something that's been going on from several lives. So which means everyone does not have the same samskara. Every devotee is different. You find some devotees who are much more renounced, who are much more dedicated. But we also find some who just want to relax. So which means if we are serious ourselves, then we have to associate ourselves with those serious devotees. So therefore we are instructed to associate with those who are advanced. You have Uttamadhikari, you have Kanista, and you have Madhyam. So which means a Kanista devotee should associate with a Madhyam, and a Madhyam person should associate with the Uttama Vaishnava. Because that person you associate with, then you emulate that person. You become that person that you associate with. if you associate with those great advanced devotees. So we should always seek out the association of the great devotees. So which means we have to be very, very careful in examining those advanced persons. We have to be careful in not associate with those who simply want to engage in prajapa nonsense talks. We should have to be very careful about them. We should be careful to associate only with those great Vaishnavas, great devotees, who are very, very serious in pursuing Krishna consciousness, who only want to hear about Krishna Katha. That's all they want to hear. They don't want any other thing. They don't want any other thing that has to do with this material world. They don't want to hear it. So we should find such devotees who are very, very dedicated to their service to the Lord, very, very dedicated to the path of bhakti. Then, if you get the association, then our life will be auspicious also. You know. Anyway, in terms of our association, the whole Bhagavatam is all about that. It's all describing about the association. We can give several hours and hours of talks on Sangha, on the association. You know. But we have to know what is good for us. Why have we come to Krishna consciousness? Why have we come here? So we have to be asking ourselves, why have I come to the HareKrishna temple? What do I want? So we have to be questioning ourselves all the time, questioning. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur talks about that. He said, how a devotee, he has to be constantly examining himself, constantly examining, why am I doing what I'm doing? And if you are just like they say, if you are going to the Balaji temple, you have to climb so many steps. So you climb many steps. If you want to reach the temple, you have to keep going, but you cannot be going back because if you keep stepping back, then you're not going to reach the thing. So the part of bhakti is like that. We have to examine ourselves. We have to be taking one step ahead of time, one step after the other. But we cannot be going back. We cannot be looking back to what we have left behind. My family, my friend, my society, keep looking back at them. We keep looking back at them, then we cannot attain the goal. We cannot attain the goal. So therefore, a devotee do not go on vacation. Oh, let me go on vacation to my family because, no. A serious devotee will not go on vacation. So-called vacation means Maya. That's what it means. All right, thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Granth Rashma Bhagavatam ki, Gopi Manande, Hare Krishna.